or how much is coming on.
That's a wonderful suggestion. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. That's a wonderful suggestion. Would you make that first report as part of your?
I know how to do that.
No, yeah, but no, he's we have
to address
just so
Bob's point.
Yeah, that's we just so you're aware. Before we came into office, they didn't keep any track record.
Right.
So now we have it on a Excel file. When there's about 250, we'll send you the Excel file immediately. But what you should do, Councilman, your suggestion is a wonderful one. We should know each month. I want a list of value at risk. I want to know. I want to talk. Now we'll talk with numbers behind us. How many properties and what percentage of value that they're coming in at? There's not one resident comes in at 25 or 10% of value.
No. But what you measure in the report, there'll be some action taken.
Only if it's the right thing. No,
I'm saying that to answer Councilman partially is that these are mostly the same properties every year. It's not that we get a lot of new people filing certs. We don't. You'll see that so when you have multi-years of certs.
We have 250 people that file it every year. Right? So let's find out what's going on and figure out how we compare that down.
So that's one issue, which is.
But
I'd like to know that
That's the volume. Okay. Right. The second issue is, as the supervisor points out, that as a legal strategy, they come in at ridiculously low numbers, okay, which bear no relationship to reality.
Understood.
The question then is, how do we get them in to force them to tell us, look, what do you think is wrong with ours? Which is what the supervisor is trying to get us to do in terms of the process, is to get them in to say, if you think we're wrong, tell us why you think we're wrong, and we'll work with you. But the reality is, we want to get it right. So we have it all in Excel, so we can do that.
But you're right, and so the 250 now. Remember, so we have 250. And we have no capacity to determine when it goes to court. So the reason we're always responding, as you suggest, is because they bring it to court when they want. So they wait for 4 years, then they figured, okay, now's a good time. They'll settle, and then we've got the knife over our head.
We need to put in more procedures in here. I'd like to put in some metrics around that. I'd like to say, if we're looking at 250, our internal goal should be to whittle that down to 100, in 2 years, and 50.
But you have no capacity to do that.
Oh, you do. You do.
How?
I mean, you could go into some direct negotiations, as you have in some cases, right? I mean, take a more proactive approach.
Okay.
I mean, there are things that you can do.
Actually, I think that's a good idea.
Until we get the laws rewritten up in Albany,
right. I think we got to revisit the wall of shame concept as well. But that's so I think you're right. Let's get that. Good. Thank you very much, Mr. Markowitz.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Finance. Mr. Burns, we're done. I don't see Mr. Mecca. Any taxes coming up, Hope?
No, he just sent out reminders to anyone who hasn't paid the county tax. And then the village tax is coming out in June 1st.
When's the county tax due?
It was due in April.
Okay.
So, our reminders of with the 2% penalty have been sent out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Decresenzo, we have your report here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Any questions for Mr. Decresenzo? Anything you want to highlight from the report, Mr. Decresenzo?
Well, I just want to let everybody know that the work on the Jefferson Avenue Bridge has started in terms of relocating the utilities. Con Edison started that work on Monday, and that we have a opening of the bids for that project this Thursday, which we'll see how they come in. There was a meeting in reference to that 2 weeks ago where we had roughly 8 to 10 different contractors. So it looks like we're going to get a good amount of people bidding on that bridge and that project. And again, I thank this board for approving the financing for that. So, and the awarding of the contract for the sidewalk rehabilitation on Guyon Creek. The work on Otter Creek is moving along as on schedule, and we've also notified the state in reference to our work with the bridge, so they're fine with what's going on with the bridge. There's no problems, and there's really nothing in terms of the bridge is in no immediate danger of any problems. That we have time to do the work with Adam and Kirby and get it done right.
Thanks.
And all the cemeteries are being taken care of. The bi-monthly maintenance is being taken care of. They're all in very good shape. And I'm meeting with Donald March next week to discuss a few things about the Solomon Gedney Cemetery, see if we can get some more information on that piece of property and what might need to be done, what our responsibilities are and what they aren't. And also, I just wanted to let everybody know that there will be a ceremony in the African American cemetery for Memorial Day on the 26th.
So that's May 26th?
May
at what time?
26th. I think it's at 10 a.m. or 10 a.m.
So May 26th, this is our biannual event in the African American Cemetery, 10 a.m. May 26th, Memorial Day weekend. Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One other question?
Yes.
John, thank you for putting this together. There's at least one other bridge, right? The Hillside Avenue Bridge?
Well, Hillside Avenue Bridge,
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I just want to make a recommendation. If since you're putting this report together monthly, which is very good, thank you for that. If we could just include all the bridges and cemeteries, and even if nothing is happening, just let us know that you've looked it over or checked it over.
okay, you want me to identify them individually? I can do that. That's not a
that'd
problem.
be great. Yeah, just identify them individually, and if there's no change in status, just put it's the
Okay.
same. Okay.
No problem.
This way we don't overlook the different bridges.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Decresenzo. I don't see the park foreman here tonight. We see the head of the Model American Community Project. Is he here? Don't think you get away without the update on it.
Just two quick comments. As you know, we had been looking at about 65 community organizations, about 35 houses of worship, and we're about 37 of them have been interviewed. This past week, one of the ones that was interviewed was KTI. And again, like the wonderful opportunity to learn about the American Legion Post-93 band, KTI is celebrating their 125th anniversary this year. So we look forward to working with them perhaps and celebrating that with them as well. And then also just sharing with you that looking forward to the summer with a number of wonderful internship programs, both here using the resources of the youth who are involved in the Tools program, who did, as you saw back in April on social media, sharing their skills with the community organizations around town to help them with their social media as one of the internship projects for this year. And so we're looking forward to that being something we've not done before. So using the youth who are involved in the Tools program. The other thing that I think we've mentioned a few times, came up in KTI again, is the opportunity for volunteer efforts to make a difference, especially in so many of the nonprofit organizations that are hard-pressed in these tough times to hire staff. That's difficult because staff is not being hired. You're sort of taking a job away from somebody. So it has two sides to it. But clearly, again, KTI said one of the things they would appreciate is our involvement in this volunteer. So I think we'll continue. We see that as an emerging activity for us in the Model American community.
Wonderful. And could you just briefly comment on what you and Mr. Thomas are doing in terms of advising to start up 501c3 or groups that community outreach groups that want to.
We've had a number of organizations who are moved by a particular problem and issue in their community, and they want to respond, and sooner or later they get around to the organizational challenge. And that leads them to say, well, we should be more than just a group of people. We should be an incorporated group of people. So we've held a couple of sessions right here in the conference room on the third floor to help them understand, number one, forming a nonprofit corporation, which is pretty straightforward. And second piece of that is getting the IRS tax-exempt designation, which is that 501c3. So the two different things, one with the state and one with the IRS. And we had 5 or 6 of the organizations, I guess principally sponsored by Louis Marino from the Village of Portchester. And again, just you can see people wanting to make a change in the community, and they need some help, but they don't need underpinning. They just need help, support, and off they go. So we will continue to do that.
Well, thank you. So just to be clear, so the 4 underpinnings of the Model American tax affordability,
right.
best-in-class government. That's why I'm so insistent Mr. Markowitz make his assessment department best in New York. Public-private partnership to address our capital needs. And finally, the social outreach that Mr. Arcaro, you do so effectively. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Councilwoman Collins?
No comment.
Actually, sorry, I missed Town Attorney Noto. I know you're...
I did enough talking tonight, thank you.
Or In Rem, sorry. What's happening there?
In Rems are the final In Rem were the one property in Mamaroneck that didn't pay. And I made a motion for summary judgment that was returned.
What had that person, they don't have the money, or what happened?
I don't know.
Did they come back? Did they ever get in touch with you?
No.
And so you had no response?
No, I got an answer from a lawyer.
And the answer was?
Opposing the In Rem. So they made a partial payment of the first year, which is not what the In Rem's all about. So we're waiting for a judge to make a decision on that. Everyone else paid.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry, Councilwoman Mendocino?
No, oh, sorry.
No, I know you heard her. No comment.
Still no comment.
I'm still waiting to hear when we're going to have this report, because it appears that many of the things that we want to go forward with are hindering on the report that was supposed to be here in March, and now we're going into June.
You talking about the CGR report? The Town Dissolution Study report?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it was supposed to be in March, but it was supposed to be, I think, in April. Did you talk to him today?
I sent an email. I did not get a response today.
We're certainly just as anxious as you are, just as an update.
It's due any day is basically all I can tell you.
So are we going to continue to stay in a holding pattern until we get this report?
Well, I'm not sure what we're holding on.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not, other than selling town properties, that we have put a hold on. But I think that, yes, you're right. It's obviously difficult to manage the town in this time of change. I agree with you. And, hopefully we'll have a whole lot more visibility by the next monthly meeting. If we don't, then you're absolutely right. Then we'll have great cause for discontent and discussion. But you're right. We're hopeful we should be any day.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, by the way, didn't we have to change the meeting date, or are we going to do that?
No, we don't. No.
Oh,
This room was the issue. Now
we changed. Look,
it's at Rye Neck High School on the 19th.
Councilman Nyoris.
No comment.
Deputy Supervisor Villanova.
I'm just going to echo what Councilwoman Mendocino mentioned about the report, the CGR report. I think that's going to be critical for us going forward. So we're talking about that CGR report where we have an opportunity to possibly change the way that the town does business. Then the second part of that is we spoke earlier about the capital plan. With the CGR report, if there's a different kind of a blending or a different way that the municipalities are going to take on structures and properties that are owned by the town, the capital plan is going to come into place. So I too, I'm anxious to see this report. And once again, I'm going to hold the principals of the communities to their feet to the fire. If this report comes out and it's given us a clear path that we are in an opportunity to reduce the taxpayer's burden by reducing taxes, or we're in a position to give a community or multiple communities a better way of life by changing the way that we do business, the day-to-day operations of the municipalities, we have to make that change. It may not be comfortable for everybody, but we have to do what's best for everyone, and I think that's going to be critical. I want to once again thank the American Legion Band for coming here earlier this evening. I can't believe that we're not going to see them anymore on the streets of Portchester. And for anyone growing up in our community, you can think back, close your eyes, and standing at the Monument Park, right at Westchester Avenue and North Regent Street. And the American Legion Band was always there, right under the tree. There was, it's unique. That's all I can say. And they really, they're going to be missed. But if you see someone, bless you. If you see someone who's a member of the band, please thank them again and thank them again. And that was really great to see them tonight. And that's all. Joe, the Supervisor Carvin, you put yourself out there quite often, and we joke around about your, the way that you go at some of these items with regards to certiorari and things of that nature. But Supervisor Carvin's exactly right. We have an opportunity to change things, and what happens is that we're constantly met with the excuses that we can't, or it's never been done that way before. But we do need to build some consensus. So if there's another municipality that's out there, and you're feeling the same pressure, the same burden, reach out to us. And it looks like we're going to be reaching out to everyone else. But to hear that a six-unit house in Portchester is, the value is possibly questionable at $600,000. It's absurd. It really is absurd. And it's very sad that the system's that broken. So that's all.
Thank you very much, Deputy Supervisor Villanova. I think that we've talked a lot about certiorari. I want to apologize to the American Legion Band for not having gotten here tonight. I really am going to watch on TV. I want to thank them for their wonderful service over all those years. Deputy Supervisor Villanova is absolutely right. Anybody who's grown up in Portchester, they're a part of the fabric of our community. I'm glad they're actually, I saw them on the way out. They're going to be playing on Memorial Day weekend in Monument Park. So all of these of you that are home, make sure you make an effort to get out. Maybe your last chance to meet with American Legion Band and keep and see them for one last time. The other thing I wanted to mention, as part of our Model American Community Outreach, we want to announce different groups, events, and those kinds of things. I wanted to say this Saturday night, there's a new Pan-Latino group called Windows Towards the Future that's having a dinner at the Knights of Columbus at 7 o'clock. And so hopefully we'll have as many Latinos as non-Latinos there and have a good time. We have an extraordinary human resource here in Portchester, basically in across Rye town with our amalgam of peoples. I think, the thing that makes me love the United States is we're all a lot of different people organized around some great ideas. And so anyway, Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Knights of Columbus, it's $35 for the dinner. I think it's an open bar as well, so you can get your money's worth for sure. And with that, I want to thank everybody. Can I for coming this evening and for all your hard work? And can I get a motion to bring the meeting to a close?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Aye.
That was good.